Worn out, welcome. The siege on the xel'naga temple has intensified. Amon's strongest creations embolden their minions as they break themselves upon your ramparts, only to rise again. Not only that, but they also attack your fortifications from afar. Endure the assault and keep the temple secure. Okay, so today we're going to be playing this week's mutation mission in StarCraft 2 and of course complete it on the brutal difficulty. Now the very first thing to note is that we're going to be playing on the Temple of the Past, and in previous mutation missions where we were indeed on the Temple of the Past and our opponents were playing Zerg, we had a couple of losses just simply because the opponent happened to, spawn in a bunch of Scourge that just simply right-clicked on top of the temple, and even though we did pretty much perfectly before that point, the Scourge would just immediately blow it up. So that's my first little concern right here by knowing that we're going to be playing on the Temple of the Past. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the mutators. The first one is called Just Die. Enemy units are automatically revived upon death. So this one right here is actually one of the most difficult mutators in the entire game, because basically it means that we have to fight, enemy units twice rather than just once, and we're gonna have to face off against a lot more. Secondly, we have long range. Okay, enemy units and structures have increased weapon and vision range. So this is another tricky one. Actually, this may be a new one, I'm not entirely sure, but this is definitely a tricky one, because I was thinking maybe someone like Karax could be extremely good, right? Because normally on the Temple of the Past, if you can just simply put up a lot of cannons and towers and whatnot, Karax is absolutely incredible because his fortifications are super strong. But the thing is, we don't really know how much range the enemy units and structures will actually have. So yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. I don't actually think that Karax is going to be that great of a choice then. And then last but not least, we have Inspiration. Enemy heroic units increase the attack speed and armor of all enemies within a small range. So that basically means that first off, with Just Die, we're gonna have to face off against an army that is twice as big as we are used to, just because they're gonna always revive upon death. Secondly, they're gonna have more range, so that could, and that may or may not mean that we have to actually like move towards the enemies. I mean, normally they come towards us, right? But since they have a lot of increased range, they may actually just stay at a distance. It kind of depends on how long that range is. And then last but not least, they're also going to be significantly stronger because they will have increased attack speed as well as additional armor as long as heroic units are nearby. So really the question is, what commanders would be very powerful? Now the first one that came to mind would of course be Karax, but the thing is Karax is going to be a little bit tricky as we don't really know what the range on the enemy units is going to be, right? Will we have to face them, from really far away? I mean, maybe his cannons aren't going to even be in range. So I don't think that Karax is going to be that great of a choice. Maybe Raynor would be very good if we can actually like put down a lot of spider mines. If we put down, a lot of spider mines and a ton of vultures, we may be able to blow up the enemies before they can really even get to us, which actually is not that bad of a choice. Maybe someone like Swan would be pretty good as well. I mean, his siege tanks outrange most of the things that are on the battlefield. But I think that the best one, at least the first thing that comes to mind right now that seems the most powerful, would just simply be Vorazun. I mean, Vorazun is great on this map. And if we go for a combination of Dark Templar, as well as Corsairs, I think we may be able to disrupt the enemies quite nicely. Alright, so I've grouped up together with Sushi, and Sushi is going to be playing his beloved Alarak, and I think I'm going to go ahead and give that last strategy that I just mentioned a try as well. As far as my mastery points go, first off I've got the Dark Pylon range, which, is that even a good one? I mean, the range is pretty nice. Maybe I actually should switch over right here to the Black Hole Duration instead, just because we don't really need a whole lot of teleportation right here. Secondly, I've got the Shadow Guard, primarily just so we can just simply nuke down the rocks as well as do some, early game carrying with those. And then last but not least, I also have the Initial as well as the Maximum Spear of Adun energy. I think this is going to be a really tricky one, to be honest. This is not going to be an easy mission whatsoever.
Intaro Adun, commanders. Our forces are engaging Amon's minions across Shakuras, but the Dark God seeks this temple's demise. It will take time to activate the temple's power and repel his assault. Your objective is to defend it until that time comes.
That's exactly what we're gonna do.
This round is now mine. The enemy will not have it.
Alright, so I will be focusing here on a lot of Dark Templar as well as Corsair. So the Corsair, of course, are gonna be great for, what is it called, Disruption Web? It will basically just, cancel a lot of the attacks that the enemies are trying to do, which should get rid of most of the trouble as well. And then secondly, of course, I'm grouped up right here with Azure. He's got a couple of different nicknames. He's got like Sishui and Sishu and Sushi, and I've just settled on Sushi. Anyway, it doesn't really matter all too much. But long story short, he's gonna try and, of course, focus on his Ascendants, and which are basically like his High Templar, right? And if he's gonna be capable of using those in the, you know, on all of the heroic units, he's gonna be able to blow those up reasonably easily, and therefore he should be capable of allowing us to not really worry too much about the, you know, the extra buffs that the heroic units will provide to the enemies. Anyway, of course, as soon as my Shadow Guard is available, I'm gonna go ahead and activate those to really, you know, start ramping up the production at that natural. And so far, I'm just simply gonna try and build up to those Dark Templar ASAP, and we'll get some starport units going a little bit later. There we go. Put down another pylon, and very shortly I'll be able to start up that Twilight Council as well to start really teching up towards those Templar. So I'll use the Shadow Guard here. I don't know if I really need to. Can you? I'm use my DTs on the rocks. We'll see. We'll see. He's gonna, of course, have a photon overcharge, like a pylon overcharge thingy. I don't know if it's gonna be timed up properly. Go ahead and nuke down these things.
These foolish enemies seek to storm my base.
Actually, yeah, we're gonna have more than enough time. They may time out, though, in just a little bit, which is a bit annoying, but other than that, we should be alright. There we go. Come on, Pro. You're not a Dark Templar, even though you may wish to be one. Okay, go ahead. Actually, they're gonna get there plenty in time. Oof. Now, they're gonna respawn, right? Which I mentioned. That's a tricky one. Oh, good. Very good. That was actually pretty much as good as it could get, to be honest. Alright, very nice. Let's go ahead and put up another pylon here. And we'll also make a few more of these gateways, because of course they're going to be very helpful. I do actually have to research the warp gate tech. Well, some commanders, it's not nearly as important, but on this one I definitely do want to make sure that I get it. I guess I can get the shadow charge here, just in case. In case I'm gonna, you know, have too many minerals available in just a bit. There we go. Transferring workers.
Temple's Zendastones are reacting to our actions. I suggest demolishing them for safety's sake.
Very good. Of course, we'll get as many of the upgrades right here as well for my Dark Templar. First off, the Shadow Fury is going to be an important one. Do you have any energy? There we go. She does. I was gonna say I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm gonna have to warp in some DTs here shortly. Cool. Got my first set of DTs ready to go, and we're already almost maxed out when it comes to the economy, which is great. I'll make sure here to start up, well, basically all of the, you know, Dark Templar upgrades here. You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and chrono boost that one out right now and just simply queue them up. It's not necessarily the prettiest way of doing it, but it'll be okay. I got my next set of Shadow Guard here available as well. And as soon as I can really start comfortably warping in some of these things, so this is gonna be a tricky one, right?
The icons of Amon's betrayal. I would enjoy destroying them.
This is where things get a little bit more tricky, because I do need to try and get that upgrade as soon as we can.
It won't be long before it activates itself.
And this is also the point at which I'm going to start up my double Stargate. I'll get up a forge. And, well, I don't really need the air upgrades, right? Alright, we do have the Shadow Guard now available, which is going to be an important one. I don't have air, which is a little annoying, but my DTs are just simply taking care of all this stuff. There we go. Even though they had increased armor, actually, that was barely noticeable. That was barely noticeable. Very good. Alright. So, as soon as I can, I'll go ahead and put up some more pylons, but as soon as I can, I'm going to build up those Corsairs as well. I think the Corsair setup would be easily the best. Easily the best. Let's go ahead and get these upgrades going. And I may actually want to get the armor upgrades here for my Corsairs. How much did that cost? 100 gas each only, so it's actually not too bad. I don't think I can really afford any more than 4 gateways in this for now. Maybe in a little bit I'm going to be capable of adding on more unit producing structures, but for now. Actually, the DTs are incredibly good here. I mean, they've got no detection, right? So the DTs alone would just simply clean all of this up with ease. There we go.
Amon has summoned a Void Thrash. It will severely harm the temple for as long as it lives.
Okay.
is a good day, Zuzai. It is a good day, Zuzai.
It is a good day to die. It's been a while since I heard that. Go ahead and nuke that Void Thresher down ASAP. There we go. Oh, he also respawns. I was not teleporting out of there in time because I assumed that he would not be respawning. My unit's already moved back into that position. Oh, it's okay. Okay. So you guys are going to be hotkey number 2. And we'll just simply get as many of these things as possible. So I do need to research Fleet Beacon. Alright, hold up. We don't sadly have these units in the campaign, right? Or in the multiplayer. I mean, it would be pretty sick to have Corsairs in the multiplayer of StarCraft 2. So I forgot about that for a second, that we indeed do need the upgrades. Well, they do have air damage as well, so I guess I can do a little bit. I'm mostly just using them for the disruption web, though. Very good. Got energy for days now anyway, right? So we'll just simply get in there. A lot of siege tanks, though. There we go. Yeah, I gotta be a little careful right there on the High Templar of Alarak, because they're very valuable. We'll continue upgrading as many of my units.
Marking location now.
Amon has sent his servants against us.
And as soon as my fleet beacon is down, there we go. Permanently cloaks all of them, sure. Actually, let's go ahead and get disruption web first. I didn't even remember that they were permanently cloaked. So this is a little annoying. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do enough. Yeah, okay, so right now they're going to be cloaked, right? Which is nice. Because of the pylon. Alright. We're going to have to keep on killing them. They actually still do quite a bit of damage, all things considered. And we're basically just going to have to try and hold on for as long as we can. There we go. Do they have detection here? Well, either way, I'm just simply gonna use some of these circles on them. There we go. Oh, there is a missile turret. I was gonna say, I was looking at ravens and all that, but I couldn't quite see those. Here we go. We can sacrifice some units, right, if we can save some more time with it. I think I should probably go ahead and put up some more pylons, and maybe another gateway or two. Just because we can. Let's go ahead and queue some more of these things up. And everything considered, I think we're gonna go for that bonus objective right now as well.
Identified.
Is he gonna be fine?
They will be the first to know my wrath.
Very good. Does it actually work on this thing as well? I'm not
Half
really
of
sure.
the temple's configurations are complete. Remain
Very
steadfast
good.
until it can activate. You have successfully shattered a Zenith Stone. 2 more await you.
Yeah, so I'm just basically getting zealots whenever I've got gas. Whenever I'm lacking gas. Let's go ahead and get another upgrade. More of these things into warp gates as well.
It is a good day, Zuzai.
The temple is under siege from a Void Thrasher. Slay it before it deals too much damage.
Come on. Come on, boys. Gotta get moving. So I'm not entirely sure if this works as well, just like that. I also don't know if I want to auto-cast it. It's been a while since we last played Corsairs. They're such a cool unit, though. I think we'll just let them auto-cast it then. If they want to be, auto-casting that badly. Very good. This is actually a really good setup. Way better than I had anticipated. Let's go ahead and grab myself that bonus objective. Alright, there's gonna be some drop pods here, which is a little annoying. I'll go ahead and take this thing out real quick. Alright, he's gonna be able to teleport us away. Beautiful. That was really well done. Anticipating that we might overextend. And then getting back to us in time. Alright, well, there's gonna be some more enemy drop pods. Well, that's a little annoying. But considering we're going up against, you know, Terran units, we're
the
fine.
temple with a void thrasher. It has to be eliminated.
Alright, let's go. Let's go ahead and continue warping in more and more. I may even want to put down more gateways. Just because we're starting to max out. Okay. Go ahead and move over in this direction. Beautiful.
We have slain the
Very good.
Thrasher.
So really, like, this is just simply me focusing on as much production here as I can, right? We'll move towards the next,
Crush them into dust.
the next and final bonus objective here. And my units are rather fast as well, right? Considering we got the teleportation and whatnot on. Makes it much better. Come on, Corsairs, get over there. Oh, nice push. Now my Corsair is going to be able to pick them all off. Well, hey. I mean, that becomes pretty easy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, baby. Value. I could even black hole this, right? And just simply wait, but the tanking, the additional armor they get from this hybrid is, you know, annoying, but that was totally fine. Okay. Guess we may need to warp in some zealots, just because I'm running out of gas. That's really my main concern. I think I'm gonna head down though towards that bonus objective. I was gonna say we need to do that final bonus objective here as well. I haven't even used my time stop yet. Time stop is one of the most powerful cooldowns in the game.
Hybrid energy signature detected.
Maybe I should leave these guys there.
Back to the void.
I can always, of course, like teleport my units back, right? So if I hotkey that one, I can just simply teleport my units back towards this area if we need to. Alright. Alright, guys. Let's just move back. We gotta do some fighting. I'm gonna split up my units for just a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and use time stop. Let's look at the amount of things that are here. A little bit more than we wanted to. Very good. And while these units are quite tanky because they're buffing each other as well, if I'm not mistaken, they're not going to be able to stay alive for very long. Beautiful combo though. This is working awfully well. So I think I actually have more than enough disruption web available at this point. I mean, they all have a ton of energy still remaining. And while Alarak is struggling a little, I'm going to start moving towards that bonus objective because he's going to be capable of doing that anyway. He's going to be capable of completing that just fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and head off to that last Zenith stone.
The temple. You must end its assault.
Beautiful. Look at the damage output of these things as well, though. That's awesome. I haven't even upgraded that much.
Regrettable, but necessary.
We have done well, but do not grow overconfident.
Hybrid detected.
I mean,
Hybrid. Ready yourselves, warriors.
I think I'm going to be able to clean this up. Disruption webs everywhere. Oh, well, I'm losing a lot. I'm losing a little more than I had anticipated here. Okay, get him. Get him! Oh, snap, it respawns. Whoops. It respawns. That's not even English, Lowko. Alright, he's dealing with that brilliantly. And we're losing some HP right here on the temple. I got a little overzealous there. I went to a full-on target fire right there, assuming it was going to be the second charge already, but I should have gone after those. I should have gone after those hybrids instead. That was my mistake. Anyway, of course my units do come back quite easily. Ooh! No! Couple of widow mines there. Absolutely just tore my units apart. I've got no detection. Alright, well, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. We have 4 minutes remaining. I just lost a lot.
The temple's activation is nigh.
Ooh, that was not good for me, though.
We're
We're making this way closer than it needs to be.
We are almost there.
Beautiful.
Void Thrasher slain.
Yeah, at this point, my army is, I guess, a little bit stronger earlier on into the game, right?
Before they destroy the
The thing about, of course, Alarak's army is that the more Ascendants he gets, the more of his High Templar he gets, the more powerful he becomes as well. Well, we'll slowly start rebuilding it. It'll be done in just a second. I'm actually gonna go towards you. I don't think I can solo one. We're gonna have to group up.
I am disrupting time now. Be ready to attack.
Okay. What I'll do here as well is put up another one of these pylons. And we'll teleport our army back. Oh, he's already got a teleportation ready to go as well. Did actually not know that time stop was also affecting that Void Thresher. But look at that! The High Templar, the Mind Blast, it's incredibly good. Alright. Well, my unit should be capable of getting over there. This is a little closer than we want it to be, though. We still have quite a bit of pushing ready to go. We still have a lot of units as well. But there's still 2 minutes on the clock, and usually the last couple of minutes are the trickiest ones. I don't know if they have any detection here. Oh, yes they do. I'm gonna try and move back here myself, but I'm a little worried about this setup. I can easily teleport his units back as well if we need to. Ooh, I actually don't know if we got enough. I lost a lot to just a handful of Widow Mines right there, and I overextended on one of the objectives. So while things looked really solid just a minute or so ago, well, really like more like 5 minutes ago, I guess. We have 1 minute remaining. Now we can easily survive this Void Thresher, right? There's not enough damage on this one to really be bothered by it. I'm gonna need help though. I'm gonna need help. I don't have enough. My units are starting to run out. I don't have enough. My units are starting to run out. They were really good in the first, like, 10-15 minutes of this mission. But after losing them, they got, well, surprisingly, right? They became a lot weaker when I didn't have them anymore. And also, they got a lot of High Templar. Or a lot of Siege Tanks, rather. Now, it's only 15 seconds remaining. And while they are closing in on every single angle right now, I think that we may very well have enough time. Because the objective is just to simply keep the temple alive, right? Close one. Close one. Definitely not perfect. Definitely not clean, but...
Its activation will eradicate Amon's remaining forces. Well done, commanders.
Widow Mines. Whoops. Yeah, so sadly, I ended up losing way more to just a handful of Widow Mines than I had assumed. So in total, I ended up killing 355 units and structures, and Alarak ended up killing 389. Not gonna lie though, I love the difficulty level right here. I mean, I played a little sloppy. I felt like I did pretty well in the early to mid game of that co-op mutation mission. But like the difficulty level was right on point there. That was most definitely not an easy one that we could just simply walk over, right? The thing is though that I feel like Vorazun is probably the strongest in like early to mid game and sort of falls off a little bit more towards the late game, right? I mean, the thing is that all of our units and all of the units that I at the very least was going for in this mission today are very like glass cannony. I mean, they deal a lot of damage in a short amount of time, but it's more or less like be killed or kill them. Because if you're going up against something like Siege Tanks, they can pretty much like one-shot the Dark Templar, right? In particular when they got that additional strength from the hybrids and whatnot. I feel like Alarak has got some extremely powerful like early game, because of course really like Alarak himself is extremely good, but then also some extremely powerful late game as well, once he like maxes out on all of the Ascendants as well as all of the, you know, basically like the high tier units. Once you get like infinite amounts of Mind Blasts, I mean, you could see him like literally blow up Void Threshers right there. I feel like the mid game is probably where Alarak is a little weaker, so I feel like we complemented each other quite nicely here. I mean, of course I shouldn't have lost that many units, but then again, I was probably gonna lose them sooner or later. You know, considering we were going up against Terran Mech. I feel like if we would have gone up against Terran Bio, or really any kind of Protoss army, or like the non-Scourge version of Zerg, we would have probably been able to kill a lot more than we did right here in total. But regardless, we ended up completing the mission, so I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you're new, and for some odd reason, you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you get notifications as soon as I upload more. And other than that, I want to thank you very much so for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you in the next one.